This is Dimeji. Welcome you to the Kingdom Mandate, where I teach you how to bring the kingdom of God to every place where you are. And at the end of the day, the kingdom of this world will become the kingdom of our God. So, how do we measure success in Christianity? There are people that measure success by the amount of money they have. They measure success by the building, how large the building, our church is, the number of people in the church, and so on. You see, that is not how to measure measure success in the kingdom. You measure success by your calling. What has God called you to do? You get me? Material things are not the fruit of what God has called you to do. Because his aim, you get me, his aim is to ensure that the kingdom of this world becomes his kingdom. So he gives each and every one of us an assignment so that we can actually do that and bring the kingdom to this particular earth. So that's the essence of every calling. Every calling is a part of his kingdom. And whatever you do, it's building that kingdom here on earth. So if we're not doing that, no matter what you build, you can build the largest auditorium, you can have the biggest jet. If you're not doing this, you're not successful because your calling is actually the foundation for another person's calling. Imagine if you just talked about measure your the success of your call based on what you build. What if another person comes and didn't build it? Then you say, "Oh, that person is a failure." No, it's not. It is all about what are we called to do. If I'm called to raise, I'm a pastor, or let's say I'm a pastor, and I'm called to raise leaders in the church. Now, you see, I'm going to be measured by how many leaders I've been able to turn my people into. Not just leaders that actually impact society, that can do without me. That makes me successful in ministry. If it's, I want to raise holy people, at the end of the day, the people in my church, are they becoming ethical? If they are not becoming ethical, no matter what I build, no matter what I have, no matter the number of people, then it simply means I'm not successful. So we need to measure that success because Jesus said that at the end of the day, he said, many will call me Lord, Lord. But the thing is this, how many have actually done the things that my Father has called them to do? So it's not about what you build, it's not about anything you have. You get me? Because whatever you have, you're going to leave it here. But your calling is what will follow you. So, what are you doing with your calling? Because with that, that's what God used to measure success. God doesn't see what we see, he doesn't look at appearances. He look at the heart. He called you to do this. No matter how good you do another thing else, if you don't do that exact thing that God has called you to do, to God you are a failure. And I read this in the book, The Call and the Final Quest, and it changed the way I see things. You get me? Your calling may be to disciple one person, but you've built great works. You get me? Great things that people will see and they celebrate you. But you see, before God, if you don't mentor that one single person, you are a failure. So we need to be very conscious of this, that we should not measure, we should not say, oh, can't you see the proofs are there? We have a big auditorium, we have large number of people, we have cars, we have jets, we have all of those things. Those are no measurement of the calling of God. The measurement of the calling of God is how good have you been able to bring the kingdom of God to the place where you are. And every single calling has a specification. And I've never had somebody tell me that his calling has something, things inside as a tool of measurement. No, it's all about how do we go about building people, transforming people. And you need to measure yourself with that.